With all of us living a busy lifestyle these days, when we get that extra hour or two to sit down and actually watch a movie, I found myself particularly looking to the reviews, the online grading scales to determine, what I was going to watch in that hour or two that I had free and available to me. What I found out is that, those self-proclaimed critics that are making, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars to review movies, I found out that the reviews were actually kind of junk. And what I was doing was wasting my time watching some movies that I didn't enjoy whatsoever. So over here on this channel, what we're going to do is we're going to break it down a number of ratings criteria. And we're going to give you an honest review from our lens over here on this side. So the rating criteria we have is going to be story and plot, characters and acting, editing and pacing, emotional impact, theme and message, and originality and creativity. Hopefully this will give you a little bit more insight when you have those free couple of hours to sit down and watch a movie, either by yourself or with your family and friends. And hopefully this puts things a little bit better into perspective for you than turning to the same old rotten reviews. Today we're going to dive into Hostile Dimensions, created in 2025 and starring, well, nobody that any of us would know. Now let's see if this movie is worth watching or if this one should be deep six to go visit Davy Jones in the deep dark blue. So when graffiti artist Emily vanishes after walking through a mysteriously freestanding door in an abandoned building, her disappearance becomes a hit, or a horror, or story goldmine? Well, enter Sam and Ash, two unemployed documentary filmmakers whose last indie flop desperately needs a comeback. They snatch the door because, that's always a smart move. Lug it into their apartment and promptly discover it doesn't just lead to another room. It leads to every room. Each time they open it, the portal warps into whatever random idea they were thinking about at the moment. Sky-swimming whales, panda-themed nightmare arcades, giant mannequins threatening to photobomb reality. And yes, I did say pandas. Desperate for sense, or at least some narrative traction, Sam and Ash enlist Linus, a cryptic otherworlds academic who speaks fluent nonsense and occasionally channels Reddit lore. Today they bounce through dimensions chasing Emily, dodging tentacles, and getting seriously annoyed at how every world seems to demand a bigger budget, and someone ends up questioning the meaning of existence, while still doing the deadpan documentary voiceovers. The door vanishes, well, maybe, but Sam leaves us with a mini portal in a duffel bag and a final line that suggests, yes, the hostilities are far from over. Don't knock, you never know. Who or what might answer. Okay, everybody, let's dive into the review. For story and plot, we gave this a 3 for logical but familiar structure. So I'll give credit where credit's due. The story actually makes some sense if you ignore 80% of what happened. It's like someone combined Doctor Strange with Orders and said, yeah, that's pretty deep. There's a solid premise buried under the pile of portals, tentacles, and dialogue that sounds like it was improvised by people who just discovered caffeine. So for characters and acting, give this a 1 for poor, unconvincing, or shallow performances. The characters have the emotional range of cardboard cutouts left out in the rain. The lead actor spends most of the movie staring off into the middle of the distance like they're trying to remember their Wi-Fi password. Meanwhile, the comic relief, sidekick, delivers every line as if they're auditioning for a YouTube apology video. More convincing performances in TSA announcements. So for editing and pacing, we gave this a 2 for fair, uneven rhythm, noticeable lulls. The pacing feels like the editor was playing whack-a-mole with the timeline. Scenes cut so abruptly, I was half expecting a buffering icon to appear. Still, it's not terrible, just the cinematic equivalent of skipping through a PowerPoint with random sound effects. Emotional impact. Graded this one at a 1 for poor, leaves you feeling indifferent. I should have felt fear, awe, or at least mild discomfort. Instead, I felt like I had been left on hold with customer service in another dimension. The most emotional moment was when the credits rolled and I realized I could finally change the channel. Theme and message, we rated as a 2 for fair, attempts depth but lacks clarity. Apparently the message is something like reality is fragile and so is your attention span. I think they were trying to say something profound about perception and existence, but all I received from that was vertigo. So for originality and creativity, we gave this one a 2 for fair for few fresh elements. Sure, it was creative, in the same way that a toddler is creative with crayons. A Door to Infinite Worlds is a very cool concept and idea, but not when every world looks like it was filmed behind a Spirit of Halloween clearance rack. So what is our final grade for Hostile Dimensions from 2025 starring absolutely nobody? So the rotten reviews out there via the internet gave it an 86% and absolutely love this movie. While our channel was a little bit different, we gave this one a 37% and would absolutely send this one Davy Jones deep sixing it forever. So Hostile Dimensions is like stepping through a portal to a universe where acting lessons were optional, pacing was theatrical, and logic went on vacation. I would only watch this movie if you absolutely love chaos, love incomplete ideas, or if your remote is broken, or the batteries fell out and you can't manage to change the channel. As always, thank you all for stopping by. On your way out the door, remember to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll continue to bring you some movie reviews so we waste our time and you don't waste yours. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great night.